Hello everyone, it's Benny Victory, reverse mortgage professional. I had actually really wonderful news today in two of my clients, and I thought I'd do a quick video and share this with you. I do this, I think, going forward from now on, because with all the negativity around what a reverse mortgage is capable of doing, I think the best way to share the positivity of what the program is able to do is to share with you what my clients are getting. A lot of times when I speak to clients, they're in an age group that my other clients are. And it's amazing to me that one client who's age 82 sees the program, sees the benefits, and is ecstatic over it. And then I talk to another person who's 80 years old that looks at it and thinks it just makes no sense. So, like I've said before, I believe in the program. I've helped my parents get the program long before I started doing reverse mortgages, and that was over 14 years ago. So I just wanted to share this one example, and then I'm going to do another video on my other client that the appraisal came in today, so that when you listen to this, I really hope it resonates with you. I hope you can take yourself out of your situation and out of your mindset and start thinking, okay, if I was open to this idea and Benny was talking to me about this loan and this was my loan, what would this change of mindset result in my ability to enjoy my retirement? Okay, so I wrote this down. We're going to call this client James. James is 82 years old. He purchased his house 50 years ago, and I had to double check this because I couldn't believe it. But he purchased the property 50 years ago for $35,900. The appraisal came back at $755,000. Now, James lives in this property by himself at this point. The property is paid off free and clear. So what we're doing for James, which I suggest to a lot of clients that either have a small balance or have their property paid off fully, is we're going to get him a line of credit. So at 82, with a property value of $755,000, James qualifies for a line of credit for, drum roll, $426,576. $426,576. Just saying that makes me smile, okay? And what's amazing about this is that this amount that I'm quoting you, the $426,000, is after we back out the expenses for doing the reverse mortgage, which I'm going to get to in a second. But I just want you to kind of get the drift of what we're talking about. So here he is with a line of credit that we're going to give him for $426,000. The line of credit, think of it as a bucket that is available for him to draw on with $426,000. This line of credit is going to increase. His particular rate is 3.25%. So what does that mean? That means that every month that he's not using the money, his line of credit is increasing by $1,155. And this is regardless of what will happen in the future if the property values go down. So we appraised this property now for $755,000. Let's say 2 years from now, real estate market goes down and real estate market becomes $500,000. Unlike a traditional mortgage or a home equity line of credit that you have right now on your traditional mortgage, a reverse mortgage doesn't have to deal with the bank saying, oh my God, property values have gone down and we need to reduce his line of credit, or we're going to freeze it, or we're going to close it, or anything like that. Regardless of what happens to the property values could become $400,000, and his line of credit for $426,000 is going to be left untouched. And it's still going to increase, because if he doesn't use that money, it's just going to continue to increase. Now, the other issue that I wanted to kind of talk about. There's this aspect of people when you talk about a reverse mortgage, they go out of their minds about the cost. Benny, it costs so much. It's so expensive. I can't believe it. The only thing that a reverse mortgage has that a traditional mortgage doesn't charge for, unless you get into an FHA program, is mortgage insurance. There's lender fees, there's third-party fees, which are escrow, title, recording. All of those things are the same. The only thing that a reverse mortgage has, and it's an incredible protection, it's insurance. It's not a bank fee. When people say mortgage insurance, they're under the impression that they're giving the money to the bank. They're not. In this case, the mortgage insurance is $15,000, $15,100 to be exact. Now you hear that and you think, oh my God, that's a tremendous amount of money. Let me ask you this. The total cost of his loan is going to be $24,913. Somebody comes up to you and says, let me make you a deal. You get to stay in your house for the rest of your life. You don't have to make a single mortgage payment for the rest of your life. And we're going to make available to you $426,000 that is going to grow every month. And when you decide to use that money, you don't have to make a monthly payment on that line of credit either. Is that not worth paying $24,000 for? Honestly, think back. If somebody came to you and said, I'm going to give you $426,000, but it's going to cost you $26,000, would you not take that deal? If you don't, then I can't help you. But if you understand the concept, if you see how the numbers work, if you understand that the benefit of a reverse mortgage is this growing line of credit, the ability to stay in your home and not move out, it's an incredible tool. Now, some people will say, well, Benny, why doesn't he sell his property? Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the idea of selling the property. Here's a person who's age 82 years old. Now, I don't know how old you are when you're listening to this, but imagine yourself, you're 82 years old. Okay, you've lived in this house for 50 years. You grew your children in this house. You have memories in this house. Do you want to sell this house and now, among COVID and dealing with everything else that we're dealing, pack your house after 50 years and sell it and figure out where you're going to go move next? Or do you want to age in place, stay where you are, and grow old here? That's consideration number one. Now, let's say you say, okay, look, I've got an opportunity and I could move in with my children or my grandchildren. Then think about the financial aspect of this. He purchased the property 50 years ago for $35,000. We appraised it for $755,000. The numbers on selling this property, just rough numbers. I calculated that at a 6% real estate commission, he's going to have to pay $45,000 just in commission fees. $10,000 of closing costs. So right off the bat, he's paying $55,000 out of pocket from his $755,000. But it doesn't stop there. He gets up to $250,000 of capital gains that he doesn't have to pay taxes on. But on the balance of that $500,000, he's going to have to pay for state and federal capital gains taxes. And depending on the tax bracket that you're talking about, it could be as high as 40% overall. Okay, so that could knock out a couple of $100,000 of your expected money. But at the end of the day, he's still beneficial in terms of how much money he's going to make. But let me ask you this. Now he's got all this money sitting in his bank account. Whether he's going to be able to be eligible for federal government's Medi-Cal, Medicare that are income-based are now going to be suspect. Because if you have $300,000-$400,000 sitting in the bank and you approach the government and say, I need help with my medical expenses, they're going to look at you and say, you're going to have to spend that $200,000-$300,000 that you have. And the last consideration with the moving idea is, do you really want to move at this point with COVID and go into a nursing facility where there's a couple of hundred people coming in and going out and deal with that? Or would you rather age in place, have the care that you need come to the home that you've grown in and are accustomed to and are comfortable with? So these are some of the counterpoints to the idea of selling, but what I wanted to share and really stress is the benefit and the overall power of what a reverse mortgage does. You know, every day when I get a chance to talk to a senior and be able to connect with them in a way that I know that I'm going to help their financial future and their retirement become successful, there's a tremendous joy that I get. I've been doing mortgages for over 20 years, but now I exclusively do reverse mortgages because to me, the opportunity to help a senior be able to live in their house for their lifetime and have maybe a line of credit or not have a mortgage payment and be able to use that money towards something else is such a blessing to me. Like, I am so thrilled to be able to call this client and say, your appraisal came in, it's higher than what we anticipated, and you're going to end up having access to $426,000. To me, that is an incredible, incredible blessing that I can help with someone so that he could continue living here and staying here. Like I said, there was another approval that I had today, and I will share that with you in another video. Here's my takeaway. If you listen to this and you say, this sounds interesting to me, and you have a house and you have maybe 50% equity in it, you have a small loan or you have a balance on it, let's have a conversation. Let's discuss what your options are. Don't think that you don't have any choices and continue making a monthly mortgage payment on a house that you're never going to pay off. And when your kids get it, they're going to turn around and sell it, and that's the end of it. Don't put yourself in this place where your financial straits every month stress you and give you anxiety. This program was designed to help seniors. The funny thing about it is that in 1988, Ronald Reagan, which is one of the most fiscally responsible presidents we've had, who's a Republican, signed this legislation, and every administration, Democratic or Republican, has since enacted it, and it's continued. It's a government program. There's a tremendous amount of regulations around it. It's so heavily regulated that to do a loan, you have to do counseling, you have to have multiple of steps. There's a 3-day waiting period, there's a 7-day waiting period. And if you work with someone who's really concerned about your well-being, you will know that that's the person you want to help and who wants to help you. So my takeaway for you is this. If you're considering it, whether just to kind of see what the numbers are, contact someone who's working exclusively with reverse mortgages, someone who's licensed and someone who really is caring and considerate towards your needs. And if I'm fortunate enough to help you, please reach out to me. Contact me, let's have a conversation, let's look at what your numbers look like, and if it makes sense to you, then move forward. But don't keep paying a monthly mortgage on a house that you're never gonna, I don't want to say it in a bad way, but never be around long enough to pay that mortgage off. And don't let your cash flow be so stressful to you that you can't have the comfortable lifestyle that you want. So I'm going to finish by asking you to contact me if you have any questions. Each case is obviously unique, and each number is unique to themselves, but the concept that I shared with you is the overall concept. If I can help you, I really would consider it an honor and a pleasure to work with you, so please reach out to me, and I look forward to speaking with you and just having a conversation. That's all it is a conversation. And if it works out well for you, fantastic. If it doesn't, we'll leave as friends. We'll have a cup of coffee, and that'll be it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. God bless, and take care. Bye.